This is Darkside Thrillers, your weekly turn on and tune in to serialized fiction, taking you into those bone-chilling moments when humanity twists beyond the point of no return. Who hasn't taken a shortcut down a back alley you thought you'd survive? But then, there's that noise of rustling leaves, that smell of someone lingering near. And you just know. I am your host, Elijah Summerfield, welcoming you to Darkside Thrillers, Season 1. It begins with Kept, an 8-week serialized thriller by Wodahl. You get hooked into the lives of 3 sociopaths, one who kills, one who hunts for truth, and one who will kill to hide it. Among bones and trophies under a cathedral, there's a kept secret with an appetite to hunt. Adult content. Audience discretion advised.
In episode 4, Kenzie Pratt hits a dead end when she reports the evidence she found. The detectives discover remains, and Michael and Charisse's hookup was made for movies. Episode 5 is all about confrontation, danger, and innocent negotiations. Episode 5, I'm Coming for You. Jack came into the department first and was looking at the forensics report when Ellie arrived.
No coffee?
One less nasty habit. I'm into tea now.
What? I have to get my own? So, what do you want to do about Grant Polly?
Tail him for a couple of days. See what's regular and what isn't.
Okay, I'm on it. He was the only offender in the registry that fits time and location?
Yeah, the others just don't work.
We have the report on the Preet case.
And?
It's interesting.
What's so interesting about it?
The bone fragment is not the dog's.
He continued looking blankly at the report. He was frustrated and needed answers science couldn't provide. Moving across the desk, she reached out her hand for the report.
Says it's part of a tooth, but doesn't give a species. There's not much here, other than finding a similar bone fragment in the dog's neck and that Poppins's head was severed by a bite.
No shit.
She threw the report on the desk.
You should have bet.
Why? I knew it was bitten off. Of course it was, but not by a coy wolf.
No, you didn't.
So you would have lost. It doesn't say bitten off by a coy wolf, does it? I need a coffee just to put up with your bullshit, Jack.
Ellie, get me one too. My treat.
He sat back, wishing he didn't see his ex in every decent woman he met. Michael's office was the antithesis of the rest of the house. It was cluttered. The bookcase was overcrowded and disorganized. He had photos carelessly placed on top of old furnishings. On the walls were taped old newspaper clippings of celebratory events, tragic headlines, pharmaceutical breakthroughs, and highlights of romantic moments. On the wall above his sofa were various masks he collected on the Ivory Coast and in Liberia. His favorite was the Dan mask, a mask with scarification from the forehead to the end of the nose, a sacred mask of protection and channeled communication with the spiritual world. He kept it close, studied the Dan mask, hoping to make contact with his parents one last time to remind them of his irreconcilable lack of forgiveness he would never give them. not when they had taken their last breaths of oxygen before the fire consumed them, and not even in the afterlife. Michael sat on the sofa, reached for the mask and placed it over his face. His fingers traced the scarred fissures down the middle of the mask and understood that it was a symbol of his duality, his great capacity for devotion that Charisse had awakened in him, and the flip side, his greater capacity for self-preservation at any cost. He thought about what it would cost Kenzie if she kept hounding him. At 18, here was this girl in his life now, who was a wild remnant of youth, a predator. He examined the headlines and media coverage for the past 12 years on CEO Justin Pratt's marriages, business conquests, and parenthood. Kenzie was an only child with her own particular history of wins, defeats, and busts. There before him was her whole rebellious past, a media gala of medical updates, competitions, performances, and trouble. She was trouble. A chill took hold of him. He found her number, weighed the logic and illogic in contacting her, and decided not to, once again. He knew she'd contact him when she felt especially confrontational. Like Michael's office, Kenzie's suite in the family mansion was overgrown with myriad canvases of family portraits. Her mom before the divorce, Kenzie and her mom at birthdays, recitals, holidays. Her dad thought it disturbing that Kenzie hung a photo of her mom with her new husband. It reminded Kenzie she was easily replaced and needed to fight harder for herself, because no one else would. Her favorite violinists graced the wall behind her bed, and across from it was a fireplace with more pics of her mom, and above the fireplace, a photo of her and her dad from a Thanksgiving celebration with her grandparents. She loved that photo of the surviving Pratt team because her dad's smile seemed genuine, like he was enjoying being a family man, even if only for a day. When she finished working on an improvised music piece, she decided to track Michael down at Thames U to see how he fit into the Max Shelton case. Things like what he knew and what was he going to do about it. She didn't want a repeat performance like the chat with Constable Aiken, and knew she had to present herself like a normal, style-conscious adult for Michael's scrutiny. She made an effort. A shower, careful cosmetics, her styled wig, Nordstrom blouse and denim, and Kors combat boots. Not that Michael would notice. She slung her red tote bag over her shoulder and took one last look. She parked in a restricted area and didn't care if she were ticketed. The receptionist in the liberal arts building was helpful in giving directions to Michael's lecture room and informed her she'd have 10 minutes before his class was over. Deciding to enter and sit at the back, she waited for him to wrap up. As students filed out, she moved against the flow and made her way down to sit on a desk in front of him. He looked up and smiled.
Right on cue, Kenzie Pratt. I thought about calling, but decided to wait to see how desperate you were. I knew you'd contact me, and here you are. But I wasn't expecting to hear from you before your concert. Thank you for the tickets.
And thank you for the donation. But 10,000? I'd say you're trying to buy me off. That's just not going to work, Professor Nubold.
Call me Michael. And I have no idea what you're talking about.
Your bullshit is not flying under my radar.
I don't think I've ever met someone so careless and inconsequential as you.
I'm not careless. I'm fearless.
Let's say fearlessly careless. I doubt you've ever really been put to the test.
What kind of test?
A survival test.
He was amused. Kenzie smiled as she thought about her own survival tests. Battles, arenas, wounds, scars, abandonment, isolation, ghosts. She shook her head.
You have no idea about the tests I've survived. The treatments, side effects, damage, repairs, failures. Like constantly jumping through nuclear fallout.
Michael stiffened, felt constricted by her frank tale of woe.
What did you do with the blue sweatshirt? Mac's sweatshirt.
Like I said, no idea what you're talking about.
The one in the tunnel, under the cathedral.
You must be thinking of another place. I'm not surprised you're confused with all the medical and non-medical cocktails you party with.
You're a liar. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know, Kenzie, sometimes accidents happen.
And sometimes people, like you, create them. What are you hiding down there? I heard something.
I have to go to a meeting.
He thought how he'd enjoy triggering her rage, her combative compulsions. He placed his lecture notes and hard drive in his briefcase and started walking away.
You're actually walking away? How stupid can you be to ignore me? I won't stop.
Stop what?
What the police are doing? Hunting for evidence? I took photos.
And that wasn't careless? That incriminates you, like you had some part in it. Like you put it there and you needed a trophy picture. You're not thinking clearly, Kenzie. You're putting yourself at risk. Again, accidents do happen.
I'm coming for you.
You're coming for me? How? With your violin and bow? Your instruments of death.
She slid off the desk as Michael approached closely.
That would be unwise, Kenzie. Stay the fuck away from me.
He stepped back and smiled.
I look forward to the concert on Sunday. I'll keep my distance. I wouldn't want you to stab me with your bow.
Playing his game, she rushed away with a cool resolve to keep her emotions under lock and key. She was learning how to do that now she was 18. She's dangerous, Michael thought. A gamer, a hunter who wants damage, revenge, without needing to win. He sat back at this computer and focused on escape routes out of this mess with no after effects. Sourcing through 2-year-old files of a therapy group for suicide prevention that he curated, he found the man he was looking for. Grant Polly, 22 Geneva Street in Waverly, a sex offender who served a 4-year prison term. Polly had tried to commit suicide a month after his release and was referred to Michael's therapy group. The line between acts of self-preservation and acts of unjust self-defense were blurred to Michael. He never suffered remorse for acting in his own best interest, if he felt events were beyond his control. So, he told himself that the Mac Shelton's disappearance was not his fault, and he wouldn't be blamed for it. He felt that Grant Polly would have fallen from grace at some point in his predatorial life, and would have eventually offended again. So, why not do something to take him out of temptation's path and prevent further suffering in the community? He went to bed early, plagued with survival strategies, and woke up at 4 a.m. with a plan. Grabbing Mac's hoodie and washing and drying it to remove any evidence from the cathedral, he put it in a garbage bag, waited until rush hour was over, drove to Geneva Street, and watched Polly leave with a briefcase and an arrangement of flowers. Michael worked quickly. He put on gloves and went to the rear of the house and tried the door of an unwinterized makeshift shed that was an extension of the house. It was unlocked. He entered and found the main back door to the house was locked, but the shed had an old coat rack with a tattered windbreaker hanging from one of the pegs. He inspected the collar and found a hair that he carefully removed and transferred to Mac's hoodie. Quickly, he rolled it up, then opened Polly's metal garbage can and threw it in. He left, knowing he was doing Waverly a favor, and in a bizarre way, was protecting Polly from reoffending. Michael was convinced he was saving Polly from himself and innocent lives of children. Geneva Street was a quiet road, with homes spread out and backyards that bordered the lake. From Polly's backyard, he had a direct view of the small beach where the boys tented. Jack could see the beach clearly, and with binoculars, he could construct details of the boys tenting that night. He decided to pay Polly a visit. He knocked on the front door. When no one answered, he found the back shed was opened. He hesitated, then put on gloves and entered. He knocked on the inside entrance door, which was locked, so he searched through the shed space. Bookshelves, moldy, family albums in a box, stacked rubber storage bins. He searched the pockets of an old jacket hanging on the coat rack and removed a card from one of the pockets. Eileen's flowers. He put it back. He lifted an old mat placed by the entrance into the main house and another mat further down the shed. No concealed compartments in the floorboards. He decided to leave when he saw the garbage can. He didn't want to tamper, but he didn't want anything to disappear that might be a lead. He lifted the lid and stared speechlessly. His heart raced unexpectedly, a stirring, a feeling of profound sadness. Carefully, he reached for the shirt and held it in his shaking hands. The air stopped in his chest. Then he exhaled. A rush took hold as he stepped back, walked outside, and called Ellie to get a warrant. Within an hour, 2 cruisers pulled up to Polly's residence. Ellie stepped out with the warrant and joined Jack seated on top of a picnic table outside the shed. The other officers marked the perimeter.
You saw it?
Yes. I gotta tell you, it's taken hold of me in a way I can't describe. I've never felt this way, this fear of moving forward.
He told her how he found it.
I'm here now, Jack. Try to stay focused.
She walked past him into the shed, opened the can, and took out the hoodie. They saw the label. Ellie smelled it.
He's washed it. That's weird.
She bagged it. They forced open the back door to the house and searched. They found photos of the lake. In one, young boys were skipping stones across the lake by the shore. They would have to enhance it to ID the boys. There was nothing else except the florist's card in Polly's pocket.
Where does he work?
St. Joseph's Health Sciences.
Doing what?
A community relations director. Apparently, he's well liked.
I was not expecting that.
Jack was genuinely surprised.
Someone believes in second chances.
Do you think they knew his history? What he did? Fucking bleeding hearts. Unbelievable.
And she thought of Mac's mom. Her stomach sickened.
Fuck.
Okay, you get a team to St. Joe's to make the arrest. I'll update Kathy Shelton.
The detectives parted, Jack feeling happy that luck was on his side, and Ellie feeling uncomfortable at how neatly everything fell into place in record time. While she wanted to nail this offender because of what the stats say about released offenders, something was off. Jack waited until the team made the arrest, then notified Kathy Shelton moments before the breaking news aired. She turned on the channel in time to catch the update. Waverly police have arrested convicted pedophile Grant Pauley on suspicion of kidnapping in the disappearance of 12-year-old Mac Shelton, a West Waverly Grade 7 student. The accused is in custody. Kathy turned it off, sat down and rocked back and forth, her head lowered and fingers interlaced in some unpracticed prayer ritual. The same plea repeated over and over. Please, please bring him home to me. Please, please be alive, my sweet boy. Please, please come home to me. She stayed like that all day and into the night, waiting for Jack and Ellie to call, while reporters swooped down into her misery. This ends episode 5. Stay tuned in next week for episode 6, when the sweet side of a man's new life shatters behind bars. Voice and sound production by Darkside Thrillers. Ambient music by Richard Moule. Sound recording by Mike Donaldson. Thanks to music and sound artists at Pixabay.